And we are live. Hello everyone. Dumelang, Sanbonani, Abusheni. I hope you are having an amazing start to the year 2021. I know someone wants to argue that it has been off to a very hectic start in terms of COVID-19 second wave, more especially in South Africa. But I want to just say, guys, whatever is happening, it is happening. You know, there's a greater, it's literally out of our control. So we can either learn to live with things as they are and not to be insensitive. I have had a couple of close friends also lose loved ones just over the past 2 weeks. So it has really been hectic, but we try as much as possible to keep our spirits up. We try as much as possible to make sure that we are still encouraging each other, and we're out here making sure that, you know, we stay safe and that we are well. So welcome to my first official live of the year. Last week, I tried to have a live with Nicolette Mashile, and for some reason, I absolutely could not add her onto my live. And so I hope this week is going to be better connection and that we'll be able to just push through just an hour. You know, I set aside some time. I try to go on live at least once a week, just for an hour, speaking to an amazing guest, somebody that I really feel can add value into your lives, people that I watch and I follow and I really enjoy their content. So I try to bring those people onto the lives so that we can have a really practical conversation. You know, I'm all about having practical conversations. It's good and well to just theorize and have big talk and have talk shops and all of that. But when you come to this page, you know that we are going to have a practical discussion. So I really am excited for this next guest. I hope, because I'm just noticing a couple of changes now on Instagram Live. I hope I'll be able to see as soon as she joins. But in the meantime, guys, tell me how you guys doing and let me know where you're joining from so that I can properly greet you. If this is your first time on the live, don't let it be your last. Tell everybody that you know, your business associate, your brother, your mother, anybody that you know that's in business, that there is a small business runway chick that's out here trying to help you guys get to the bag, secure the bag, grow the bag, scale the bag, whatever it is that's to do with business. I am your official business bae. And so it's really exciting to be live with you guys. Hello, everybody that's just coming on. Hi, Minnie. Hi, Zugo. Hi, Nqele. Hi, Happy. Hi, Maki. Hi, Samgelo. Hi, Star. Hi, OPL Construction. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It really is going to be worthwhile. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for the longest time, I've always had kind of a negative attitude. And I'm being honest now because I'm about to have a conversation which I hope can actually open my mind and change the way I feel about this. I've actually been part of a multi-level networking business. And I don't think the experience was bad at all. However, my whole thing was that and I wasn't sure, you know, like I wasn't sure how people would actually view me, how people would look at me, you know, if I joined like a network marketing business. However, today's guest is somebody that I admire. And I literally met her recently. She's going to be giving us obviously the talk. She's going to let us know, give us the breakdown, you know, bust some myths around, you know, network marketing and multi-level marketing and the business opportunities that are out there offered by companies. Hello to everybody that's joining us, guys. If you are here on this live and it is your first time joining, just let me know. Give me the heart emoji so that I can actually greet you and acknowledge you. Thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat with us. I'm your fellow business bae. For those of you guys who don't know who I am, My name is Dina Madonsela and I am a business builder. I speak, I teach, and I train small businesses on practical tips and tools to grow their business. And so that is what I do on a regular basis. I own a brand called Business Bay. As you can see, it is a t-shirt business I started, just less than a year ago. And I hope that you guys like it. I hope that you guys, can buy local. Next time you want to buy an ordinary black t-shirt or an ordinary white t-shirt, buy local, buy Business Bay. Yeah. Okay. So that's me. I am going to wait for my guests to come in and then I will be able to start the conversation. But in the meantime, how have you guys been doing? I'd like to have a chat with you guys. No, Famjul Agwaz, it's not your first time joining me, but thank you for the heart. Thank you for the heart. Maputi Godwin, thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, welcome to our lives. Don't let this be your last time. In fact, guys, at the bottom of your screen, there's a little arrow button. Please help me and share this live with as many of your networks as possible. Anybody that you feel can really benefit from a conversation with, Flavia Motsisi. I am really literally waiting for her just to jump on so that we can start the conversation. But thank you for joining me, guys. My mother is on this live. I never tell her when I'm going to go live, but she obviously finds me somehow. So hi, mother. I hope you're well. Yay, Mfariseni is also somebody that's joining us for the first time. I think that actually might be a little bit of a delay because I'm seeing the messages come through a little bit late. Nonetheless, we are going to go through the live. Guys, show me some love. Please share this live to as many of your people that you know as possible. I'm waiting for my guests to, join us, which she will hopefully do in a few minutes or so. But in the meantime, please say hi. Please tell me where you're joining from. And tell me if this is your first time joining us. Okay. So also another part of housekeeping that I need to tell you guys, we are going to be having that 1-day digital marketing workshop on the 6th of February. So anybody who's interested, please send me a DM and a message telling me that you're interested so I can then just forward you the details and the Zoom link. We're literally going to have, start the year off on a bang on a high note. And I need you guys to literally just make sure that you join if you are interested in learning some digital marketing skills for your business, including WhatsApp, Facebook, as well as Instagram. So make sure that you get that done on your side. Okay. I am still waiting for our guest, guys. So please have grace and be patient with me. I'm trying to just keep the conversation going until we can actually, invite Flavia onto the live. Flavia is an amazing person. I am going to introduce her, but I am obviously just waiting for her to join. Yay! There we go. Okay, so Flavia has officially joined us and is here. So let me just acknowledge first live Leo here. I'm in Rand Park Ridge. Hi, Leo. How are you, Leo? Is joining with the page MNH, the female movement. That sounds interesting. Hi, Leo. Welcome to the live. Please don't let this be your last time. Share with as many of your business friends as possible. Small Business Runway Chick needs you guys to grow. And so I am going to go ahead there. Okay, we're going to wait for Flavia to just join us quickly. Don't forget to interact, guys. If there's any question that you want me specifically to ask Flavia, please let me know so that I can just make sure that I ask the questions to her. Okay, I'm just waiting for her to join. I think maybe... Oh, wow. Yes. Leo, right? Okay, so Leo, guys, for you guys, so that you guys know, says, I love the post about different strategies for different social media platforms. It worked wonders. Thank you so much for that. Thanks. Yeah, it does. I think for me too, for the longest time, I really was in denial. I was like, no, man, I just want to post everything everywhere, and I want to post the same thing. I don't want to have to write and create different content. But it is a game changer once you start basically curating your content for the different social media platforms. Flavia, I have tried to add you. I'm going to um try adding you again.
Ah,
Yay!
finally.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You're looking so
Okay, so
cute.
everyone, oh, thank you. Thank you, Flavia. Oh my gosh, I need to introduce you. Okay, Flavia, you will forgive me because I do not want to get this wrong. Are you the commissioning editor of MultiChoice or Mnet?
For Mnet is a pocket of
Mnet.
multi-choice. Yeah, so it's the same company
Okay.
anyway. Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Okay, okay. All right, guys, amazing. So Flavia is a business coach. She is the commissioning editor for Mnet. Flavia is also, she owns a boutique. She's a serial entrepreneur, a property investor. So mastandi, in other words. And you are really just such a graceful entrepreneur. Like I'm just literally for the past couple of months that I've watched you, I was like, yeah, no, this is definitely somebody that I think is the girl. Because today it's property, tomorrow it's busy. You're just busy. And that's good. I'm like, yeah, that's what we should be doing, right? So welcome to the live. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this live with me. And thank you for, obviously setting the time aside. I know time is very precious. So thank you for, just be willing to spend your time with me. Flavia, are you still here? Hello? Guys, I think Flavia, or is it me maybe that's having networking? Okay, we are just literally going to continue. Ooh. Sis. Ooh, okay, so I think we might be having some connection issues with Flavia. But anyway, we are going to I'm gonna ask that she yeah, I saw that. Okay, that's fine. Let's try it again. I wanna try and add Flavia again. Instagram. Why no more so? We want to have a conversation. Okay, you're back. Yay.
Sorry about that.
So,
Technology is the pits.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't know what
Like
happened.
at the wrong time.
Right?
Listen, Flavia, let's get straight into it, darling. I need you to tell us about yourself, like your background, and really just like what is your why?
Well, firstly, thank you so much, Gina, for inviting me. I'm so excited to talk to you and also very much nervous because you're also just such a trailblazer. So I feel really
Oh
honored
my
to be here today and for that beautiful intro. I really appreciate you for that. Um, and it's always so interesting when people mention what it is that I do, because I'm always like, if only people knew that it's not by choice that I started out all those things. It's by choice that I'm continuing to do them, but it was actually by circumstance, and that leads to who I am and where it all started. And essentially, it started with me having a very difficult sort of upbringing, in a sense that we were very, very, poverty stricken, and we would be those people that the poor people would call poor, to be quite honest. And I was raised by such a beautiful, strong, amazing woman, who was a single mother of three, and she really did her best that she could with the little that she had to give us the best life. And in that, we've moved like 27 times in my entire life. We've lived in shacks, like informal settlements, rooms, renting from people, sometimes staying in abandoned buildings. It wasn't the easiest sort of life that I've lived. And I quick realized that, you know, poverty was just not for me, because that was sort of like the crux of my upbringing. And I'm sure it's a tale of many other Black South Africans today, right? And I was just like, this is just not for me. And I can't imagine a life where this is going to be me growing up, and so I have to work very hard when I get to school, and I need to get a good job. So, you know, I need to get the education and get a good job, right? That's what the system teaches us, right? And so by God's grace, I did get the good education. I ended up going to sort of like Afrikaans schools, because those were the only ones that would subsidize me and give me free education. And that was the crux of my education life and school journey from from grade 1 till matric. And then I then went to film school, which I totally and utterly fell in love with. And by God's grace, you know, my career started blossoming and blooming. But in that, I obviously had this family that had to sacrifice everything for me, right? My mom had to eventually, when my sister was able to buy my mom a house, a few years later, I needed to go to varsity, and my mom had to sell that house just so I could have tuition for university. She had to sell the only car she had. So she had to literally sacrifice her entire life. And we had to start from scratch, you know, like squatting in rooms and that type of stuff, just so I could go to varsity. Which then also made me realize that there's so much pressure in me having to sort of like alleviate the family, because now everybody was sacrificing all that they had just so I could get this education. And then I got the good job, right? I got the good job, and I then soon realized that one salary wasn't enough, because now I had all these student loans that I had to pay. I had all this black tax because, you know, my whole family, my siblings and my mom was taking care of me, and now I had to take care of them and their kids. You know, it's sort of like an unspoken, you know, way of giving back, and I truly believe in it. And I think saying black tax is a sort of like a negative connotation, but for me, I felt like the people that had carried me, I had to carry them. And in my passion to want to give back to my family, made a lot of bad financial choices, got into a lot of loans. And I spent a bulk of my 20s living off debt. And I was just like, I have a good job, it's very glossy, it's in the media space, it's this and that and that, but I am literally living from temporary loans, month on month on month on month on end. As soon as I get my salary, it just goes to debit orders and loans, and then I have to like take like another loan just to sustain me for the month. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this can't be life. There needs to be more to life. And also, I love nice things. I love lifestyle, you know. So toning my lifestyle down is definitely not an option. Living a normal life is also not even an option, because I'm living beyond my means. And I was like, then what do I do? I then started going into property, and I was like, let me get property. It's a good idea, and I'll invest it, and it will be an investment property, and it'll pay itself off. And, after 20 years, I'll own it, and it will be good profit for me, But one thing that no one told me is that, getting property, as much as you can get 100% bond, at the end of the day, you also need to pay all these transfer costs and these lawyer fees and these, all these other things that nobody tells you about. So you get the key and they're like, okay, Miss Motsisi, your house is ready. But you have to just pay this bulk lump sum and then you can collect your keys. And so that then happened. And I was like, oh my gosh, now I have to go into more debt because I need to pay off all this, you know what I mean? So I was just like because I was like, okay, I have the property and I'm going to turn it into a commune. It's going to pay itself off. But to attain it, I need to now get even more debt. And so I had to like level with myself and sit down and be like, what else can I do? Like I had to swallow my pride, and I had to like literally go to this one woman who we went to church with, and I just saw how her life, transformed in front of my eyes for the 2 years that I had known her. And I knew she was involved in MLM and network marketing, and I hated it. It was, for me, I was like, it's pyramid schemes, these people scam people. It's so not me. I'm not a retailer. I don't sell, yada, yada, yada. But to cut a long story short, I swallowed my pride and I invited her over for a luncheon. I was like, let's host a fancy lunch. I'm going to invite my friends and you can come give us a business presentation. And then maybe I'll decide and see. And the night she came to my house, it changed my life. I still remember that night vividly. It changed my life for the better. Because when I heard her story, I was like, this is what I want to be in 5 years' time. And I want to be able to impart people's lives the way she's imparting mine. And you know what? I might be ridiculed and I might be this and that and I might be out of my comfort zone. But at the end of the day, the very same people that I'm afraid of and the very same sort of like gossips I'm afraid of and, you know, how people are going to deem me and see me is the same people who don't know that I'm living off debt. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to give it a try, which I did. And to cut a long story short, I think the first 6 months doing it, my credit card was paid off. And within the first 8 months, I was able to supplement my other passions. Yeah, I was able to supplement my other passions. And I then started my boutique, which I've been running for a year and a few months now, and it's quite successful. And in that, I've been able to set myself as a business mentor. I do business talks, motivational talks. I help people start up their teams. I coach people on their businesses. I'm an influencer for my own products, which then in turn has now attracted more brands to want to align themselves with me. And it's just been such a beautiful journey of personal growth over and above the financial freedom. Like I'm driving my dream car, practically debt free. It's just been a great 2 years for me. And for me, I felt that with Business with Flavia, it was a way to say there's so many other young ladies and old women, just women in general, women of color that probably walk the same path as me or who are struggling or who are really in very bad sort of like financial situations and they don't know which way out. And I was like, well, I suppose my story had a purpose, right? And God used my poverty and what it is that I went through in my story to propel me to one day want to succeed, so I can also have a passion to empower other women, because I have such a passion for women empowerment. And I guess that is my why. My why is I had a very tough life, and I know how coming from that sort of background can force you to sort of like, you know, compromise yourself as a young woman. And for me, I just don't want other women to go through that. And so I want to offer solutions, you know. And my other why is I made a pact with God, and I was like, Lord, if you can make us and my family get out of this situation that we're in, I will make it my purpose to ensure that I serve you in everything that I do. And I do believe that empowering women towards financial freedom is serving God through that. Yeah, so I hope that answered your question.
Yes, yes, so definitely. And I'm just so drawn to your story because I think, like you said, there are a lot of us, you know, our South African families. I'm pretty sure a lot of us know a family if we ourselves didn't grow up, you know, around poverty. And so it really is just something that is inspiring. And I'm already getting a lot of comments just around your story. So thank you so much for sharing so openly. But tell me now, from somebody who just didn't want, who wasn't interested, or, you know, like myself, I still have a little bit of a negative attitude, I'll be honest with you, when it comes to network marketing and multi-level marketing. What was it about that night that clicked, like, that made you like, okay, fine, you know what, I'll give this a chance? Like, is it something that woman said? Like, what was that moment like?
Look, I mean, I fully understand why you have a negative connotation to it. I myself had it. Even when I started, I was still like, this is just, you know, people have been scammed enough, especially Black people. There's just so many get rich quick schemes, and there's just so many, you know, there's always stuff, hype stuff. One day it's this, tomorrow it's this, join, do this, and then you get money quick. So I get it. And people have lost millions and a lot of money, you know. And people like, you know, Sharon saying she's had very bad sort of experience with network marketing. I've even experienced it myself. But I think what really drew me to it is the reason why I had to swallow my pride and ask this lady to come into my house is because I had known what her life was. I could see from the outside what her life was, you know, around 2016 when she started. And around 2018, the quality of life she was living was incredible. And, you know, she didn't have to compromise herself. Her brand was very sort of like eligible. She didn't have to be anything else but herself and the best version of herself. And how I saw her being a divorcee and a single mom who literally had nothing going for her, to being able to afford to travel overseas, buy everything cash, do everything she wanted to do, be liberated and really grow from that. Just that story alone really appealed to me, because I was like, this is someone I want to be, and I
Yeah.
don't have to conform to the norms in which other, business models. I'm going to do it the best way I can do it. I know I'm very classy. I know I'm very, like integral in my approach. I know I'm very urban. And I was like, look, if you can see other people pushing other products and whatever, I can also do that this myself. And I think the other thing that really, sold me to the specific business model is because I had already been using the products, so it wasn't a hard sell for me because I was already a customer. So I was like, and it's also something I can believe in, something that is authentic, and something that I have conviction into, knowing that these products actually do work. You know what I mean? It's not now I have to be going to convince people that things work, and I'm speaking from a lack of being authentic about it. So yeah, I think it's just also, I think perhaps if it was a stranger that had spoken to me, because I had sat in a lot of presentations prior to that, I wasn't sold.
Yeah.
But because it came from a person where I actually did see the results of how the business changed her life, it was easier for me to get into that, because as soon as she started unpacking that, before I met her, this is what her life used to be, and seeing how much she's grown and seeing all these things that she had attained in front of my own eyes, I was like, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to swallow my pride and I'm going to try it out. And it hasn't been easy. There is the stigma around it. People look down on you. But for me, I'm just like, for every person that says no, there's another person that will say yes. For every person that says no, there's another person that I can help. You know what I mean? And I think it's also very important, when you go into network marketing, what business model you're going into, and also which product it is that you're working with, because those two sort of like aspects of it can really, really alter and change your experience of the business model.
Yeah. And now let's talk now specifically about those exact, like the stigma, the myths. What are some of the things that you hear like on a daily basis that you know are not true about network marketing?
I think the first and foremost is that it's a pyramid scheme, which is very much understandable because our parents grew up being scammed by these pyramid schemes. We can name quite a lot of them. And just this urge to recruit people, and I think it's also just the approach of certain network marketers and just how they go about it that totally turns people off. It's just that, as a people, as South Africans, we've been scammed so many times that even when a good thing is facing you, because of other people's past experiences, you just don't want to take the risk. And I absolutely understand, especially in a time where, money is not easy to get. You really want to be smart about which business model, which business you start, and how you go about it, right? So one, it does get misconstrued for a pyramid scheme most of the time. Two, there are quite a lot of different network marketing sort of like, how do I put it, companies. And so I think it's very hard to differentiate between the legit ones and the fly-by-nights and the sort of like not sustainable ones, right? And I think just also retailing is just something that nobody wakes up thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a good salesperson and I'm going to retail, because it's just that whole pride of, oh my gosh, what are people going to say? I'm not a seller. You know what I mean? So it definitely is. And I have to be quite honest, it does put you out of your comfort zone. You have to really push. If you know what your objectives are, and if you know, for me, my financial situation didn't allow me the benefits of saying I can't retail and I can't sell and I can't, because I was like, I recommend good movies to people. I recommend good TV shows to people. I recommend makeup and clothing and all these type of things to people. And the companies that I recommend don't even pay me. You know what I mean? So I might as well continue being who I am and do what I do, but secure the bag whilst I do it. We could be at a social right now and you could be complaining about period pains. And I could be like, well, there's this organic product that I use that I know that it works for my period pains. And I refer you to that. And that's me making a sale and offering a solution to you. You know what I mean? And that's something you could also do. I'm like, oh, my back is aching. And then you recommend something from Clicks, and Clicks won't even give you a cent. You know what I mean? But we walk around saying, I'm not a seller, I'm not at this, and I'm not at that. And I think that's also what puts people down from it. I do think that also within this period, I don't want to mention company names and stuff like that, within this COVID period, because people had been, trying to get a lot of get out of their financial situations, people lost their jobs. It's just not a good space. A lot of network marketers have been overtly aggressive, which I don't agree with their approach because it's not authentic. And I think that also completely puts people off, because then as soon as you hear network marketing, you think, oh my gosh, I need to be one of those people who DM people or comment about stuff. On every post, someone is posting a selfie, and now you're like, oh my gosh, I want to thank Gina for saving my life, and yada, 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 yada. Or now all of a sudden, everybody has got 6 packs overnight, and I don't know, but like, I digress. But essentially what I'm saying is just certain people's approaches have also put down people from it, in a sense. Yeah.
And then how much of the whole, because I mean, I think you would agree with me that it is a business opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
Because, for the fact that you can run your business, I mean, you can sell product, you can, talk to as many people as you want. You literally can do whatever you want with the opportunity, right? But now how much of it is like hard selling, like I need to sell, and versus, just building relationships with people?
So essentially, the way the business model of network marketing works is that what differentiates it clearly from a pyramid scheme is a pyramid scheme is all about recruiting people to join. Usually it would be for a huge startup, and then the pressure would then be to recruit other people to join, and whoever joined first, they usually are more well off, and everybody's just working hard for this person. You know what I mean? Whereas with network marketing, the startup is very low, and usually the startup, there's no joining fee. You buy product to sell. And how it works is that it's essentially about pushing product together as a collective, right? So when I said I had paid off my credit card within the first 6 months, that was based on retailing, because I wasn't yet comfortable in introducing the business to people, because I was also finding my feet, and mentally I wasn't okay, but also I wasn't in that space. I was just like, I'm just going to retail the products. The products really work and they're good for me, and I know I can recommend its health products and health and wellness products and skincare and hair care, and that's easy to sort of like recommend to people because everybody uses them. It's essential. And literally in 6 months, I was able to pay off my credit card. And I think when I then started building my teams, that's when I was able to have enough capital to start my boutique and to buy my car and to do all these other things. So essentially, if you just want to retail, that's fine. And there is money. You could make up to like 10 grand a month, depending on how much you push products. And if you're okay with it, that's fine. But if you really want to get to a certain level of financial freedom and a certain level of earning much more money than that, then it makes more sense to do it as a collective with a team. And essentially what it means is I introduce you to the business and say, start your own business, right? And as you start your own business, the company gives me a referral bonus. And they say, well, if it wasn't for you, Gina wouldn't have become a customer. And so we're going to give you a referral bonus. And every single time she retails, you get a commission from her sales. And if you then, say to your sister, come and sell these products with me, and she does the same happens with you. So it's like you are building off your network, and you could be, like benefiting from your one effort and selling to 100 people, or you could be selling with 10 people who are selling to 100 people and working from that sort of like model and growing from that as a collective. And essentially in that as well, which, separated from a pyramid scheme, is that with a pyramid scheme, whoever introduces you to the business, you can never surpass them or make more money than them. Whereas with network marketing, it's all about effort. If you're going to make more sales than me, if you're going to put in more effort than me, even if I've been in the company for 6 years, if you come there in the first 2 months, you put so much input, you will be making more money than me. It's just about the more input you put, the more, more input, the more sort of like gain you get from that. It's an input-output sort of venture.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you mentioned earlier on something about it's not easy. And so I want us to just shed some light, on it, because I don't want it to, I mean, your story is amazing. You paid off your credit card within 6 months. I kind of don't want to mislead people and be like, you will also be able to be, do you know what I mean? I mean, you'll be rich quick, or you'll be, in a certain financial position in 6 months, because Flavia was,
but that's only
managed to
based
do
on
it.
my input, and my business mentor introduced me within the first 6 months. she was making double her first 4 months. She was making double her salary that she was making as a scientist. That's not what I made in the first 6 months. I made way less than that. It's really about how much you work. Like I said, it really, someone might, join and sell products and it might not work for them. Someone might join tomorrow and make more sales than me, depending on how much, effort they put in. So it's really not an easy business. You really have to wanna work towards financial freedom, and you need to be able to get out of your comfort zone. It's not glossy and it's not a get rich quick scheme. What I do find a lot is when I do my business talks is people are always just so drawn into my story because I go into detail, and I go into detail as to how, even how much I'm earning now and all of these type of things. And yes, I want to do this, and then they get their first batch of stock and they start retailing, and then one person rejects them, or one person says something bad, and then they retract, and then they say this thing doesn't work. You know what I mean? And then sometimes you get people who, so it's really about, do you really want to do it? I mentioned that the first 6 months I was able to pay off my credit card, but the first month, really, it was petty sales from my family and friends, and they bought quite a lot. The second month, I didn't make any sales. You know what I mean? Because I thought it was that easy, and they stopped buying because it was just like, oh, let's just support you, and you must keep quiet. So the third month, I had to get out of my comfort zone and do this and that, and put out the products, and that's how it built going on. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I want to challenge you here a bit, because you did mention that you managed to start then your boutique, and then also, you managed to just have a car.
I've
And all
always
of
had
that.
a car, but
In
I
fact, you
just
said
got
dream car. Okay, well, you said dream
dream
car,
car.
right?
Yes, yeah.
Dream car. So now, why are you still? Okay, so here's my question. If it is so good and there's such financial freedom, why are you still in a, traditional sort of like full-time job, is my
I love
question.
my job. I love my job. I study for my job. That's my passion.
Yeah,
I literally,
yeah,
even with my job, I don't even want to go into it, but what I'm doing is literally incredible, especially for my age and all of that. But be that as it may, the salary was just not enough. Now I work because I enjoy it and not because I need to wait for a paycheck end of the month. The money is good, yes, but it only covers a certain percentage of my life. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
also there is, with my business mentor, she was a scientist, and I think she retired from her scientist job after 8 months, and she just pursued, the business full time. And I guess that's why I was like, I saw her life transform in front of me, because she was just now pursuing it full time. And for
yeah,
her, this is what she does. And she is sitting on a 6-figure income level in terms of just based on the business. You know what I mean? So there is that
yeah,
potential to do that. And probably I'll get there as well if I were to quit my job. But I really do love my job. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't know how to
yeah.
explain it. So it's, for me, this whole network marketing aspect of things have really changed who I am as a person, in a sense of, it's given me so much courage and strength to be the person that I am, to the point whereby it's even at some extent influenced how I now, act out at work. You know what I mean? When you walk into a workspace and you are not really thinking about, oh my gosh, I've got all this debt, oh my gosh, I can't wait for payday, oh my gosh, I can't, and you're really in there for the passion and for the right reasons, you start conducting yourself a different way. You start being so confident in what you are there for, and you start expressing and letting your voice come out even more, especially given that I'm in a creative space. And that's what the sort of like personal growth I've gone through in terms of my job as well has been a huge part of it has been attributed to me pursuing the business, because I've been very fearless in the way that I've been pursuing the business. I mean, my boutique has grown so much in a year, more than a lot of Instagram boutiques. There's quite a lot that have been there for far longer than mine. And I think the reason why I was able to push myself that much is the skills and the tenacity that I learned from running my,
Yeah.
network marketing business. So I hope that answers that. But I think I will always be in the media space, because that's always been my first love. But I think I identify more as an entrepreneur and a business person. And I usually just mention that my 9 to 5 is in media as a last sort of like by the by. And that's just me. I'm always just driven to do more, than just one
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And I'm also very interested and drawn to the whole personal development. What are some of the the other sort of qualities? I mean, you mentioned that you're more confident in what you do, you're more like comfortable. What are some of the other gains that network marketing or being part of a network marketing business has done for you personally?
It's taught me a lot about self-discipline. Waking up in the morning and not feeling like doing certain stuff, approaching certain people, talking about certain things, being at a social setting, hearing someone complain about something, and being like, I'm not really in a mood to, you know what I mean? It's really taught me
Yeah.
to be intentional. So one, self-discipline. I have to push myself, and in that sense, I feel like I need to do better than I did yesterday. This week needs to be better than it was last week. This month needs to be better than, you know what I mean? So now I've gotten into that
Yeah,
space where
yeah,
I'm like, what did I do today? Okay, wake up tomorrow. We need to do 2 times better, 10 times better. And like in that, I've also now started applying that in my job, in my personal relationships, and everything that I do. So that's the one thing. It's also taught me a lot of being intentional. My social media, the settings that I go to, the conversations that I go into, how I introduce myself in spaces, all of it, I'm intentional because I know that there is a target that I need to reach, and there's a sort of like space that I want to go into, and there's a sort of like perception and view that I want to put out there about myself. And so I'm not going to take anything lightly, you know what I mean? And that speaks to how I conduct myself in my social media, in settings. And it's just I'm more intentional because I'm just like, I don't have time for things that don't add any value, you know what I mean? I need to grow and build myself. In that as well, I've learned a lot of resilience. People will reject you, so that has given me such thick skin.
yes,
The rejection
yes.
is a thing. Even till today, you get it. People will ridicule you. Even till today, I get it. People will criticize you. Even till today, I get it. And as long
Yeah,
as you know and you have the conviction, you keep moving. You know what I mean? One of the
yeah,
main things that it's really taught me is to stay consistent even if you don't see results, because eventually that will pay off. That's my that if I
yeah.
were to give you one line that network marketing has taught me, is that you remain consistent even if you don't see results. Eventually you will see them. And that's just been such a beautiful lesson to learn.
Wow. And so now, what is your relationship then with like rejection? Like, are you like, are you like sort of over it? Because I do believe even in business, and I think any business, we get rejected. There's always a no. There's always a not now. There's always a I'm not interested. There's always a pushback, and we all have to deal with it. So can you just give us like some pointers? Like, what is your relationship personally with rejection, and how do we then, as entrepreneurs and small business owners, also then how can we then handle rejection better in our day-to-day businesses?
I feel like if you, and it goes back to what you asked me the first time, what is your why? If you understand and you know your why, no amount of rejection will ever derail you. So if your why is not strong enough, every single time someone rejects you, you're gonna wild and go back to your corner. So find a strong why. There must be a strong reason why. My why
Yeah.
was that like I said, I had a very tough life, and I was like, at any cost, Lord, I do not want to go back there. Give me anything that can alleviate me from that and can prohibit me from going back to that hard and dark past that I had. And as soon as I received this opportunity, I was like, this is it. And so any person who rejects me at any given day, for me, I'm just like, if you knew that I once lived in a shack and rats were falling on my face every single time I slept, you would understand that even if you are ridiculing me right now and you're laughing at me and you're saying no to me, it does nothing to me because I've seen the results of this thing and I'm going to keep pushing so I get to a better level than what I am at now. So I just say, okay, well, it's a no. And I also realize that when people say no to you, they don't necessarily say no to you as a person. We tend to personalize everything. They say no to the opportunity. It's their loss. Keep it moving. Someone else will say yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said no to the opportunity so many times, and it was my loss because I spent years in debt. And the moment I said yes, I was, being alleviated from all that stuff. And if I had said yes earlier on, I would have been far, far further than where I am now. So I just
Yeah.
also have a sense of if someone says no, they're saying no to the opportunity, not necessarily to me, and I will then
To
talk to
me.
someone else who says yes. And you know, based on my past and where I come from, I really, yes, it might hurt for a bit, but knowing where I want to go and knowing what I've achieved with the little that I've done, I'm just like, it's okay. I'm just gonna keep doing me anyway.
Woo! Yeah, no. Wow. Mic drop moment. And it's so true. I'm actually trying to just get to some of those. A really good question here. I'm gonna try and okay, I can't find the question. Okay, but I mean, in essence, so I mean, for me, there's key things that I've taken from this, right? You need to have a strong why, and that you need to be consistent, you need to be intentional, as well as self-discipline. And I think this literally is the blanket for the kind of person you should be as an entrepreneur, despite the business that you're in. Doesn't matter if you are selling whatever it is that you do, whether it's a service-based business or a product-based business. You know, these qualities that you just emphasize now are so important. And I think a lot of us miss, because we're always trying to look at, like, oh, this is Flavia's doing it, she probably can do it, she's been doing it longer than me, so I won't succeed. Okay, somebody's asking to be reminded of today's topic is about network marketing, business opportunities, and also side hustling. So I added the side hustling because I actually had a question for you, to say, like, how do you juggle then all of these things? You've got your property, you've got your business, you've got your boutique, you've got your network marketing business here, and then you've got your job. So you literally have like a number of side hustles, right? Like, how do we do that? How do you do it?
That's a great question. I think one of the questions, I just want to address another question, not really a question, but a statement. There was a lady who said she's had really horrible experiences with network marketing. And I think my only advice to you with that would be that it's also very important who you have as your team leader, and the type, like, again, what kind of company you join, how credible the brand is. Are the products credible and good? Is it actually solving is it a solution to people? Are the products a solution to people? And also, who is your mentor? It's so important to have a good business mentor. I think a lot of people try to do things alone, or they also listen to people who fail, and people who failed in network marketing. That's the perceived sort of like notion that you walk around with. But if you surround yourself with eagles and people that have really thrived, trust me, you will thrive, because you'll learn from their mistakes. So it's about all of those other aspects, but also finding a good mentor and listening. A lot of people also don't listen to their mentors. You know what I mean? So I hope that really does help, because I even have people who have, been under my mentorship, who failed because they haven't really been listening. They just fold at the very first moment they got rejected. And I've got people who thrived and who are still thriving because they actually listen, they've learned from my mistakes, and we are actually walking this journey together, and we hold each other accountable. So even if you don't feel like doing something, but because you have a partner who is in this with you, you wake up, pull yourself together, and you just do it because you hold yourself accountable. And then back to your question, sorry, which was, what was your question again?
Oh my. So the side hustling, like, how do you juggle
Yes.
so
I
many
mean,
things?
look, at the end of the day, we all have the same amount of hours in a day. We all have 24 hours. It's your choice how you want to use it. And that's why I go back to being intentional. I'm very intentional about my time. I socialize with a purpose. I don't just socialize for the sake of it. I social media with a purpose. I actually intend that every single post I put out there, it either fulfills my purpose in speaking about Christ. That's the first objective. Secondly, it brings me money. So my social media brings me money. I don't do just any type of posts just for fun. it brings me money. Every conversation I have with someone new when I am networking either needs to bring me to some sort of business dealing, open an opportunity for me. You know what I mean? So I am very intentional about what it is that I do, the people I connect with, and how I go about it. And in that means I have to obviously compromise at having a normal social life that people my age would have. I have to compromise maybe on my TV watching time and leisure time because I'm just very focused. You know, in the morning, what I'll do is I'll do my job, like read scripts, watch episodes, do my meetings, do whatever it is that I need to do. Around 5, around this time, I know that then it's my side hustle time where I have to now look at, doing business seminars, talking to my team, making sales, doing whatever. Weekends, I know that it's my boutique stuff where I have to now source out stuff. So I literally allocate my days in that respect. When I'm on my WhatsApp stories, I'm pushing my products. When I'm on my Insta stories, I'm pushing my life. And in my life, I integrate my products or my clothes or whatever it is that I do. So essentially, I've been very intentional about how I conduct myself. And with that, what it means is you will lose people because they will then say you are either too hectic or you're always busy or you're always whatever. And for me, I'm just like, well, then that's not the right people around me. What I'm blessed with is I'm blessed with people who actually understand what I'm about and understand how busy I am. And I'm blessed with people who are just as busy. And so we challenge each other. And so in challenging each other, it's easier being around a circle of, go-getters, because then when you like slacking, you're like, oh my gosh, my friend is doing all the most. I need to do the most. You know what I mean? So it's about association and just time management and being intentional. I think those three elements are very key to you being able to do all these side hustles. And I think I've really, I feel like we can never really know our purpose, but I feel like I've started understanding that my purpose is aligned with all these things that I'm doing. And I think that's why there's so much ease in doing them, although there are a lot. And also lack of sleep, I won't lie. But I supplement with aloe vera, so that helps me.
Yeah, man. And then if people wanted mentorship from you, Flavia, how do we get in contact with you? How do we, yeah. Tell us about how to get in touch with you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I'd
I'm
love to
listening.
mentor whoever is interested in mentorship. You can just drop me a DM on this account, Business with Flavia. The terms and conditions on that, though, is that you have to be willing to pursue the business that I'm in. Because, again, speaking of being intentional, it makes more sense to build you to grow in the business that I'm in, because then that's not time wasted on my end. So I can help you start off your business and guide you through it and help you with your branding, your marketing, your business. Like I just hold your hand and we do this together. So those are the terms for my mentorship.
Okay, amazing. So everybody that needs mentorship or needs to get in touch with Flavia, please just send her a DM on Business with Flavia. I definitely will, keep on sharing even on the stories afterwards as well. Flavia, it has been such an amazing conversation. I never want my live conversations to end because I'm always like, what do you like? There's always something to ask. But just before I let you go, one more question is that how do you, as like a brand, because I've now watched you for a month and you've got these partnerships or these, you're an influencer, right? In some or other capacity. How does, people like me, people that are on this live, anybody that's interested in actually getting brands to, sponsor, them with things or to get partnership with different brands, what is the best way to go about that?
I think for me, again, it will go back to, the network marketing business. I really wanted to approach it in a very urban way. Instead of standing with bottles of aloe vera and say, buy aloe products, they're great for you. I was like, influencers do all these amazing, they do amazing content for various types of stuff.
Okay.
Why can't I be an influencer for my own products and create content for my own products? So that's how it started. I was like, I'm just going to use my products and be an influencer for my own products, direct them to because like 90% of my customers don't even know I'm the one selling. They actually just think that I'm just influencing for a brand. And then till I
Wow.
converse with them, I'm like, no, it's me, Flavia. And they're like, oh, you're the one selling. I'm like, yes. So I started being an influencer for my own brand and my own sort of like stuff, whether it's being my own clothes. I don't walk around not wearing my own clothes. Every single time you see me, you must know I'm wearing Boutique by Flavia head to toe. And that goes back to being intentional as well. my skincare, my health, everything, I just use aloe vera for my whole family as well, because that's what I put out. What happened is, as soon as I started creating this content, it opened other income streams for me, because then brands were like, we really love the type of content you put out for this aloe brand, and we would like to partner with you. So that has opened up avenues for me. Another thing that it's opened up for me, because I started hosting Business with Flavia seminars, is a lot of businesses come to me and they come ask me to do talks for them, facilitate talks for them, because they deem me as a talker. So that's another stream of income. And that's where I say that it's such a vast business model, depending on how you approach it, but you need to have a proper mentor that can help you strategize on how you can tap into other things. So it's, for me, I feel like it's a supplement for other things for me, because now I get paid to talk, I get paid to influence for other people, I get paid for so many other things. And essentially that's just because I was doing it through my network marketing business. Honestly, that's the honest truth from my end. I really wouldn't know how you would go about being an influencer just from scratch. I don't know how to explain, but I can tell you how to do the model and how to attract other brands. To the extent that now I actually have an agent that's representing me in South Africa and in London as well, and I'm getting work, various sort of like regions for influencing work. Yeah.
Ooh, alrighty. So Flavia is definitely somebody to look out for in 2020, guys. Thank you so much, Flavia, for your time. It really has been amazing. I'm sure we will talk off air more, because I really do feel like there's this conversation, but there's a whole other conversation that we need to have, just around mindset, right?
Yes.
Just around mindset. Like you said, you're very intentional and you're very, like, everything that you do is all about building your business. And so I've got so much respect for you. And thank you so much. It's been amazing.
You. And I must just say, you're incredible. I love your work. I love what you do for businesses. I love what you do for small businesses. I love the influence that you have and how you use it so wisely and so selflessly. And may God just continue to expand you, and may this year just be amazing for you from a business sense. And I'm so glad we got to connect. We actually met at a session of one of my mentees, who I'm mentoring, and you were one of the sort of like what you call guest speakers, keynote speakers. And so I just want to say that I look up to you, and I love seeing sisters win, and I look forward to doing more stuff with you, and I love everything you stand for. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Flavia. I'm gonna let you go, hey?
Ciao.
Thanks there. Cheers for now.
How do I leave? That's the question.
There's a button at the, I think, top right hand. There you go. Okay, so it has been an amazing conversation with Flavia. We were discussing all things about network marketing, the myths, how, the mindset and rejection. So if you did not manage to catch the beginning of the conversation, I highly encourage you to go back and just have a look at everything that we spoke about. Flavia is literally a very, very graceful woman, and I know she says she's watching me, but I'm keeping a keen eye on her, because everything that comes out of her mouth is literally something great to grab. And so from me to you guys, for those of you guys that don't know me, I am your resident business babe. And it's been an amazing chat. I look forward to one next week. I will share the details and, of course, save this one so that you guys can refer back. But in the meantime, do me a favor and share this live, or share this page, or screenshot any part of the conversation that you enjoy, and tag myself and at Business with Flavia, so that we know what resonated with you guys the most. I love to hear comments. I love to just interact with you guys. So please do show us some love, and we will definitely bring you guys more content and anything to really inspire you to be able to propel your business forward. Thank you so much, guys. It's been nothing but grace from me to you. Thank you so much. Cheers for now.